Pride the worst sin. Very interesting.
That's gonna get you killed.
Oh, bro, dude, Breaking Bad is so fucking good.
Pride's gonna be the death of you.
I think Breaking Bad is the best show ever made of all time. I don't even think that's a hot take. I think people just understand that. If you didn't like Breaking Bad, you're probably just you probably just didn't get it. Like, it's really that good, bro. Better Call Saul is also great. Okay, so where are we going with this? Never seen it? Y'all should go see it. It's insane.
The absolute worst sin.
I don't know. Is it really the worst? I don't even think it's that bad. To be honest, I mean, gluttony, lust. Those are two that come to mind that I think are considerably worse than pride. But I'm down to hear what this guy's trying to cook.
Now, some of you may be thinking, what about wrath, physical violence,
True.
greed, or sloth? But trust me when I tell you,
Okay.
pride is the king of them all. It's the poison that enhances every other sin. It's the voice that whispers, you deserve this, when you don't deserve it. It's the unseen hand that turns
Couldn't that also be seen as greed, though?
ambition into arrogance, confidence into delusion, and success into downfall. Unlike other sins, pride doesn't just corrupt, it blinds. It convinces people that they are beyond reproach, that rules don't apply to them, that their perspective is the only truth.
I mean, obviously, that's a big issue. The problem I have with discrediting pride is that people often conflate confidence with arrogance. And a lot of people have been told that they're egotistical when they just believe in themselves. And that leads to everyone just hating themselves. I'd rather someone be a little bit more prideful than someone just fucking hate their existence. You know what I mean?
That's what makes it so dangerous. A greedy person may know they'll be greedy. A wrathful person might recognize their rage, but a prideful person, they think they're justified in everything they do. They think they're right, even when that's completely false. And history proves this time and time again. Kings who refused to listen to their advisors, generals who thought they were invincible, companies who ignored change until they became obsolete. Pride isn't just a personal flaw. It's an empire killer, a story ruiner, a tragedy in slow motion. And today, we're going to break down why pride is so insidious, how it
The only thing that really sucks is when someone says your ego's too big, why don't you listen to me? But their ego is so big to why they think that you should listen to them in the first place. That's why this issue is so difficult to tackle.
blinds us, and how, if left unchecked, it leads to ruin. From myths to history to fiction, we'll look at those who flew too far, too close to the sun, and we'll see what happened when their wings melted.
You just had to blow it up. You and your pride and your ego. You
Such
just
a good
had
scene.
to be the man. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now.
Dude, Breaking Bad put bald people on the fucking map, bro. I'm telling you, shave your fucking head if you're balding. You do not need that shit. I promise you, you will look cooler bald. Give it like 3 months of getting used to it. It's the best change you can make in life. It's so good.
Pride is the excessive belief in one's abilities, importance, or correctness. It's different from confidence, which is
Yes.
necessary.
Of course.
Pride is confidence's evil twin, the Hyde to the Jekyll, if you will. One that refuses to listen, refuses to change, and refuses to acknowledge any weakness. The ancient Greeks saw pride, or their word hubris, as a direct challenge to the god. And it was the main downfall of most of the Greek heroes, like Achilles, even the most intelligent Odysseus.
Why didn't Achilles just wear like metal shoes? You know what I mean? Like, if you knew your biggest weakness was your heel, like, why don't you just like wear just put like a fucking giant block of iron behind your foot? That way you could just never die. Like, I mean, I guess that was his pride. You know what I mean? Like, it's a pretty easy fix. Oh, I only have one weak point. Well, I'll just leave it unarmed. What are the odds? Like, that's not even pride. That's just retardation, bro.
As clever as he was.
Did he know? Let me actually double check. In Greek mythology, this legend made exclusive the first century Roman epic Achilles holds that Achilles' mother, Thetis, dipped in the river Styx. She held him by his heel, leaving it the only place his body is susceptible to harm. Oh, he had no knowledge. And then other versions say that he did have knowledge. Interesting. So I guess it depends on which version you read.
Suffered because he couldn't resist boasting about outwitting the Cyclops. The gods, namely Poseidon, made sure he paid for it. In Christianity, pride is the thing that led Lucifer to fall. Lucifer, once an angel of immense beauty and power, refused to bow to anything he viewed to be less than himself, even when that thing was the literal embodiment of fullness and completeness. His pride made him believe that he could be equal to God, and so
Jesus.
he fell. In Buddhism, pride is one of the main barriers to enlightenment. The moment you think you know it all, you stop learning. The moment you
This is very true. The best decision and the most I've ever grown as a person was when I acknowledged and I accepted that I knew way less than I actually thought. And once you humble yourself, your openness to grow, to learn, and better yourself is going to improve dramatically. Just understand that when you're a kid, you don't know shit. When you're below 25, you don't know shit. When you're fucking 30, you don't know shit, right? Because you have so much other pointless monotony to suffer through to prevent you from knowing that shit, to where you should be open to people who know more shit than you, to the people who have dedicated their life to studying one thing. The quicker you humble yourself, the quicker you understand that you truly don't know shit, the more open you'll be to change, and the quicker it will become your process of actually knowing shit.
think that you're at the center of the universe, you forget that suffering, joy, existence, and everything is shared by everyone.
Yep.
Even in Norse mythology, the gods themselves were not free from pride. Odin, seeking wisdom, sacrificed his eye, and yet he still made many, many mistakes, thinking that he could outmaneuver fate. Loki manipulated everybody and decided in his own arrogance and his own strength that he could do anything without mistakes. And that caused his eternal punishment, an incredibly long amount of suffering. The lesson? No one, not even Norse gods or gods from any mythology, are immune to pride. Pride is not just an individual flaw, it's a universal warning, repeated in countless philosophies, religions, mythologies, and viewpoints.
Pride was something that I suffered for a very long time, and this is a very common thing in tall people. When I'm walking around and towering over every individual that I see, it's very hard to not develop main character syndrome, because you do feel like you're the main character when everybody else around you is just like a fucking short little guy. It's actually a very common thing. I believe it's called a tall guy ego, and to disestablish that took that quite a while. And then I realized I'm probably going to die before all these people, so they're better than me regardless.
And that's the reason I brought these parallels, because pride is the sin that blinds. It blinds us to everything but ourselves. And it isn't just seen that way from one viewpoint or philosophy. Everyone knows that that's what pride does. The biggest danger of pride, it makes you believe that you're invincible. It creates a mental fog where you start to ignore warnings, dismiss good advice, and overestimate yourself. It's the voice in your head that says, they just don't understand me. Or, I know better than everyone else. And then you stop believing that, and you stop growing, and you stop seeing danger. You stop wearing these horse blinders, charging forward, blind to the cliff ahead. Take Icarus, the classic tale. They make wings out of wax and feathers, and Daedalus warns him, fly too high, and the sun will melt your wings. But what does he do? He pulls a Top Gun Maverick move and he goes straight for the
Jesus.
sun. In that moment, he believes he's above consequence and above limitation. His pride blinds him until he's drowning in the sea below. It wasn't ignorance that doomed him, it was his pride and his refusal to listen. And then there's Boromir, a good
Oh my God, tying this back into Lord of the Rings, the greatest movie trilogy of all time. This is the best video ever made.
man, a noble warrior. He fights for his people. He
man.
wants to protect them. But
The
when he
man.
sees the ring, pride tells him that he can wield it. It whispers, you are strong enough. You are wise enough. You deserve this power. It wasn't greed. It wasn't malice like people think it was. It was pride convincing him that he, unlike all before him, could resist the corruption. And in the end, his downfall wasn't just tragic, although it really was. It was completely avoidable. It's funny how pride often masks itself as other sins. Wrath, sloth, greed, many of them, convincing us that we were acting for the right reasons, when in reality we're just walking towards disaster. And then there's Dr. Victor Frankenstein. He wasn't trying to create a monster. He was trying to create life. He had noble intentions, but pride blinded him to the consequences. He thought
never
that he
knew
could
that.
play God, ignoring all the moral responsibility, dismissing the warnings of all of those around him, and he decided to push forward because he believed that his knowledge placed him above natural law. And his creation, the very thing he worked so tirelessly to bring into existence, ignoring everything, all of the warnings.
Yeah, some people still call the giant monster Frankenstein, but his name wasn't Frankenstein. That was Frankenstein's monster. I don't even think Frankenstein's monster had a name. But yeah, it was the Dr. Frankenstein who created the monster.
And red flags ended up being his undoing. Even in modern storytelling, we see this pattern repeat. Let's take Tony Stark, specifically in Iron Man 2. He's dying.
Also, Iron Man, one of the best superhero movies of all time, up there with Batman Dark. Iron Man 1, Batman Dark Knight, and my favorite one of all time is the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix.
Instead of seeking help, instead of trusting others, he drowns himself in more reckless behavior.
There hasn't been a good superhero movie, though, in a long fucking time, bro. In a long time.
And denial, feeding his God complex. His pride tells him that he can fix it alone, that he can do it, that he can save everybody and himself, and that he doesn't need to rely on anyone else.
Freaky as fuck.
It takes nearly losing everything for him to finally see the truth. His strength doesn't come from arrogance, but the ability to finally admit when he needs help. In one last classic example, that being Shakespeare's classic work, the Scottish play, Macbeth.
Amazing
look at
play.
Macbeth. He is literally told, beware of Macduff, but yet his pride convinces him that no man born of a woman can defeat him. He takes ironclad prophecy as invulnerability.
I don't remember that ever being the quote. Any man born of a woman can't defeat me. Jesus Christ, bro is so far up his own ass.
Rather than as a
What an
cryptic
idiot.
warning as it should have been. His pride blinds him to nuance, and it ultimately leads to his ruin. Pride doesn't just distort reality, it actively replaces it. It turns warnings into challenges, mentors and people that we look up to into naysayers, and consequently.
See, people may not believe me, but this is why I'll always survive on the internet, because it doesn't matter how small you are. I take everybody coming for my career very seriously. And that's why, like, literally 100 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, 1,000,000 subscribers. There are so many people coming at me every day, and I treat them all the same. I take them all the same, but the way I deal with them is different. And that's why nobody will ever get the jump on me, because I'm ready. My guard's up 24-7. Even Plazookas. I was ready for battle 24-7, bro. I was ready. Plazookas, Hassan, Envy, Asian guy, the list goes on and on. I am ready for everybody. Ill Plazookas, W Plazookas, man, I miss him.
Into impossibilities. It convinces us that we are all the exception, that we are the ones that are going to break the rules of history. But history.
Tectone, you have caught like 1,000,000 strays. Brother, if you think I suffer from pride, you're out of your fucking mind. I'm like one of the most humble streamers on this platform. In fact, I'm like one of the most humble. A lightning bolt just struck in my neighborhood. If anybody thinks this video is about me, you're just wrong, bro. I am the most humble streamer on this platform. I really am.
And those who ignore it.
I don't do this shit for fame. I don't do this shit for well, I do it a little bit for money. I do this shit because I like it. And that's the God's honest truth. If I didn't, I'd be like, 6 hours every day, no matter what, never, I don't care. It is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, fuck, the Jews got him. Not this one. We're good.
Doomed to repeat its harshest lessons. The only way to beat pride? Humility. Humility is something that we see in many different places. A place that I often go back to is Zuko from Avatar, bowing to Iroh, finally admitting that he was wrong, and it's one of the most powerful moments in the whole series. He spends years...
Uncle Iroh carried this fucking show, man. I wish there was a spinoff where it was just Zuko, Iroh, Azula. There was like a love romance between brother and sister or some shit. Oh, man, it'd be peak.
Believing that his suffering was unjust and that he was entitled to his father's approval, only to realize that he'd been chasing the wrong thing.
True.
His humility didn't make him weaker. It made him stronger, wiser, and more capable of true leadership. Or Boromir's final stand and sacrificing himself for Pippin and Merry. This was the moment he finally let go of his pride. He realized far too late that the ring had corrupted him, but instead of denying his mistakes, doubling down, he chose to atone.
Shit was
His
so
pride
awesome.
led him into the darkness, but his humility brought him back to the light.
Did Merry and Pippin do fucking anything? Like, in the whole story? Like, I'm really trying to think. Like, maybe they, like, stalled a couple of orcs off for a little bit. But realistically, we all agree that Merry and Pippin were just comic relief, right? Which I don't really think the movie needed. Although it is a perfect trilogy. But I'm trying to think of any big, impactful moment that Merry and Pippin actually did.
In real life, there's plenty of examples of in history where people
Convince the Ents to attack Isengard. True.
chose humility, self-awareness, reconciliation over revenge, pride. Nelson Mandela or the Apollo 13 team who listened instead of doubling down on bad decisions. The greatest leaders in history were those who knew when to set their egos aside. Humility doesn't mean self-hatred or making yourself a doormat. It means knowing your limits. It means understanding that no matter how powerful, talented, or wise you think you are, you're still fallible. And pride doesn't actually always manifest itself as arrogance or overconfidence.
By the way, do not let this man near your hospital bed. Knowers no. Okay? Knowers no. Get that man the
Sometimes
fuck
it
out of all
disguises itself
hospitals.
as the complete opposite: paralysis, self-pity, or the refusal to engage with the world. Shinji Ikari from Neon Genesis Evangelion is the perfect example. At the start, he believes he's worthless, but
Yeah.
he swings in the series between pride and nothingness. He runs from his responsibility. He believes that his suffering is unique and insurmountable. But what is this if not a form of pride? The belief that his pain is more profound than anyone else's, and that no one could possibly understand him. Pride isn't just thinking you're the best, but it's also believing that your misery is the center of the universe.
This is actually
Shinji's
that's a great quote. And something that really put me into perspective is if everybody took their problems and wrote it on a piece of paper and put it into a hat, would you keep your paper and keep your own problems, or would you risk it and go into the hat? And I believe a lot of people, when they think about their issues that way, they would realize that they would probably just keep their own issues, because a lot of people have it worse out there. So really try to be grateful for what you're dealing with and take these obstacles as a blessing, as a test of strength, rather than something to ruin your life with. Every opportunity of hardship is also an opportunity to grow. So learn from your mistakes, learn from your hardships, and become a better person.
journey is about breaking out of that mindset. He learns painfully throughout all of Evangelion, the End, and the Rebuild movies that while his suffering is real, it doesn't make him special, that others suffered too. That isolation and self-hatred don't protect you from pain, they only deepen it. And his realization in the End of Evangelion movie that life is worth living despite the pain is his form of humility. Accepting imperfection, embracing the unknown, accepting love from others, choosing connection over isolation. True humility is realizing that you are important, but so is everyone else. Your struggles matter, but they don't make you the sole protagonist of reality.
True.
Shinji's character is proof that sometimes the antidote to pride isn't lowering yourself, it's stepping up, facing the world, and realizing that you are not alone.
I think this is a absolutely fantastic video with a absolutely fantastic message. But that is one of the best things you can ever do in life, is realize that you don't know shit and be open to more opportunities to grow and better yourself every day.